I'm not sure if we've spoken about the union specifically or not, but this seems like a good opportunity to
Yeah.
do it. Each season we have one union that we represent through wearing their apparel. And this one is Game Workers Unite, which was of interest to me relative to my previous job experience working in video games. And they have chapters all over the world. There actually is a New York chapter, but we were unable to get in touch with them. We reached out, but it didn't work out. And this is the only chapter that had some apparel readily available online. So this was available through Etsy, and it was the British chapter.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just
Well, it's the UK.
yeah,
I
you're right.
actually don't know if it's only British or not. It did come from England, but
Yeah,
it's the UK chapter. I don't know how much of the UK that covers.
yeah. So and the as far as Game Workers Unite, it is concerned with the issues that are regular within the games industry, which is the idea of working past hours when it comes time to close a game, and just in general, the idea that employees are left to their own to negotiate their salaries and things like that. And it's not an uncommon occurrence to get rid of artists that are, looking for salaries that are commensurate with their experience and value, and to have them discarded for people that are really eager to get into such a popular industry. So I don't have any specific answers for how to move that conversation forward, but I do think it is a conversation worth having, and that's why we're wearing the shirts around. So.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a challenging thing within all creative industries. And I can't really speak to other industries very much because I've never really existed in any other industry besides the creative world. But there really is this idea that you sort of have to cut your teeth. Is that the right phrase? There's this idea that you have to intern for free, you have to work for free, you have to do things for a lower rate to get known and to get experience, even if you are really good and you've already paid $200,000 for college or whatever it is, and you've been practicing art making for a long time. And I guess the video game industry is right on that edge of between creative and technology, right?
I mean, yes. I don't know if the two are mutually exclusive necessarily. I think it's definitely a passion industry in a way that not all creative endeavors are necessarily passion endeavors. You could just be really interested in clothing and being a costumer on a show that you're not particularly interested in.
Right, of course.
But a lot of both historically, when games were made by one or just a handful of people, I mean, of course they still are today, but today when the games that are of the AAA space are made by a lot of people, there's still a meaningful percentage that are really passionately invested in what they're doing. And that's where it gets murky, because those people will genuinely not care about investing 12 to 15 hours a day for a year or more of a project cycle,
Right.
because they want to put out a product that reflects their care. So it can become difficult for people that also feel that degree of passion, but want to have a work-life balance.
Yeah, I think that is a big part of the challenge, right? Because it's one thing to put in 12 to 15 hours of work every day, 5 days a week for however many years for your own personal project where you are the one that is leading it, right? And you're the one that sort of benefits from it. But it's another thing to put in 12 to 15 hours of your own time into something that ultimately benefits a capitalist system for somebody else that owns the company, that's your boss. I've struggled with this a lot because I also have always worked doing things that I love. And I love making things, I love making beautiful things. But I think it's important, and I think that's part of why I'm so excited to be representing different unions throughout this, because I think it's really challenging to talk about labor and to keep both yourself accountable out of respect for your coworkers and the other people that work in your industry. If you let someone take advantage of you, even if you don't feel like they're taking advantage of you because you love it, then you're setting a precedent where everyone needs to be taken advantage of. And for anyone else to stand up for their own time, it just won't fly, because you've already created this culture where that's okay. And it's okay to work overtime for free, or it's okay to hire an intern to do work for free when they have bills. Everyone has bills. We live in a place where we need to make money for the time spent if we're working for other people. So I think in the creative industry, it's very challenging because there is that feeling, like you're saying, everyone or a lot of people want the output to be perfect, and they want to feel proud of it at the end. And that is a lot of times equal, if not even more important, to the monetary compensation. But I think there's other ways to do that. I think you can still have something that you feel really proud of without sacrificing the time and energy of yourself and other people and creating a negative atmosphere.
Right. Well, I think that's the value of having a union, because it acts as an intermediary within the employee base as much as it acts as an intermediary with the ownership.
Exactly, yeah. And it just creates space for people to even talk about these ideas.
Yeah.